Welcome back! Today we're going to learn one of my favorite Christmas songs, Carol of the Bells. Let's go to the piano and check it out. Let's look at the score. The first thing we'll notice is the key signature. We have two flats, which tells us that we are in the key of G minor. And G minor has a B flat and an E flat. Our right hand is going to start this one, and it's going to start in a G minor position right here in the treble clef. Our third finger starts on that B flat. Let's look at the rhythm there. It says ta, ti, ti, ta. And it starts with 3, 2, 3, 1. Me, re, me, do. Try that by yourself. Make sure that it's a nice even rhythm with ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Now let's look at the second measure. Ta, ti, ti, ta. Hey, that's just the same as the first measure. And look at the third measure. And the fourth. This melodic pattern that repeats is called an ostinato, and it's going to repeat the first 16 measures of this piece. So we have to get this down really, really good so that we are comfortable with what's going to happen in the left hand. So let's try that first 4 bars all by itself. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Go ahead and try this measure by yourself and see if you can repeat it 16 times without stopping. Press pause now to try it on your own, and then press play when you're ready. Good. Now let's look at the next 4 measures. You see our right hand is still repeating that same pattern, but let's look at our left hand. Our left hand is going to start not in G position, but in a C minor position. You see we play that G, but it says there with our finger 1. And if you look at those dotted half notes, they're going to feel really slow, and they just go right down, finger 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's try that while we're saying ta, ti, ti, ta each time, because that's the rhythm that our right hand's going to play. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Now if you can do that, let's try and putting that right hand with our left hand together. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Now pause the video and practice that on your own a few times until it feels comfortable. Then press play when you're ready. Great, now let's look at the next 4 measures. Our left hand just finished getting all the way down to D on our 4th finger. Now look where it goes. It goes back up to E flat on our 3rd finger, but now it goes back to D, but not with our finger 4, but with finger 1, which means we have to cross that under our 3rd finger, like that. And then finger 2 on C, and then finger 5 on G. This is a really sneaky way to get down from C position down to G position. Let's see that one more time. I'm going to start on E flat on 3rd finger. I'm going to play 3, 1, 2, 5. One more time. That's E flat, D with our thumb, and then 2 on C and 5 on G. Good. Let's try that while we say the ta, ti, ti, ta. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Now we're ready to try that with both hands together. We're going to play that pattern, remember? With our left hand, starting on 3rd finger on E flat. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, thumb, 2 finger, and then G. Good. Now I recommend going back to measure 5 and practicing those 8 measures together, 5 through 12. And they sound like this. The first D is with our 4th finger, back up to E flat, and then our thumb. and G. Good job. Go ahead and pause the video and try those 8 measures on your own until they feel comfortable. Then press play when you're ready. Before we go to the next section, take a look at that last measure 12. You see that arrow going up after the G, and you see that little treble clef at the end of the measure. That's to warn us that we have to move from way down here to way up in the treble clef. Measure 13 starts with a middle C in the treble clef, but with our left hand 5 finger. So let's practice that transition. It's a big one. We're going to be way down here in this G minor position with our 5 finger on G, and then we have to get all the way up to middle C with our 5 finger. From G down here to C up here. Now we have to do this at the same time that we're saying ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. So you're going to want to be really good at that transition. Try that along with me 3 times. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. And again. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. One more time. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Let's do it just one extra time, but with the right hand doing our pattern. Ta, ti, ti, ta. Ready? Here we go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Now let's look at that next phrase, starting in measure 13. We are here with our left hand on finger 5, and see where it goes. It goes up to D, then to E flat, remember it's flat, and then back down to D. Let's do that with our pattern. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. And with the right hand. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Now let's look back at the beginning of that phrase. And did you notice that crescendo at the beginning of measure 13? It says cresh, but that's short for crescendo, which means to gradually get louder. So if we do this right, we're going to start kind of soft and get louder through those 4 bars. So it might sound like this. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Let's try that with me. Let's start soft and then get louder. Ready, set, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Now let's go to the next 4 bars. Notice those numbers at the top of measure 17. That means our right hand pattern has actually changed. You'll see the rhythm is still the same, ta, ti, ti, ta, but our finger numbers are starting on 5, and then going 5, 4, 5, 3. So let's try this new pattern out. 5, 4, 5, 3, ta, ti, ti, ta. This one might be a little harder because it's using the weaker fingers, so try this on your own a few times. Go ahead and pause the video and try this 4 times in a row without stopping. And then press play when you're ready. Good. Now let's look at the left hand. We're still in that C minor position, but we're starting on D. You'll notice we ended on D at the previous measure when we went C, D, E flat, D. So we're going to repeat that D again on measure 17. D, we don't play E flat this time. See that natural sign? That means our 3rd finger has to come back to the white key and play D, E natural, and then F, and again back to E natural. So let's try that with our ta, ti, ti, ta. Starting on 4th finger on D. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Now let's add the right hand back in. And remember, it's starting on finger 5. And let's try that with our left hand. Starting on D. Ready, go. 5, 4, 5, 3. E natural. And then back to E natural. Good. Now try these last 8 measures on your own. This is where our left hand is now way up in the treble clef in C minor position. And try those on your own until they feel really comfortable, and then press play when you're ready. Great job! You've learned the first half of this piece. Now the second half is going to be a little trickier, so if you'd like to stop here and just learn this part, then go ahead. It'll sound great. If you're looking for another challenge, let's go on to page 2 and learn the second half. So let's look at measure 21. Notice the right hand. The pattern has stopped. Now we're starting with our 5th finger on G. How did we get there? We were in G minor position at the end of that last measure. Now we have to jump way up to C minor position. Let's practice that together 3 times. Let's play the full measure 20 and then the first couple of notes of measure 21. Just that much. So let's do that again 3 times. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti. And again, G minor position. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti. Last time. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti. Good. If you feel like you need more time to practice that, go ahead and pause the video and work on it until it's really smooth. For the next 4 measures, let's look at the rhythm in the right hand. We've changed our rhythm. We're no longer doing that ostinato. Now we have ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti, ta. Let's do that again together. Ready, go. Ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti, ta. Great. Now let's look at those notes. We're starting here on finger 5 on that high G, and it's going to go 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's do that one more time. Ready, go. G, 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 F, E flat, D. Now the next measure has a little trick in it. We're going to go 2, 2, 2, 1, and we have to cross 3rd finger over to get that B flat. So we're starting that measure on finger 2 on D. 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, and then our 4th finger should be ready to play that next C. So what I recommend is practicing that last beat of that second measure, playing thumb on C, 3rd finger on B flat, and then 4th finger on C. So you're playing C twice, but it's with thumb and then 4th finger. Let's try that a few times. C, B flat, C. 2 more times. Start with your thumb. C, B flat, C. 1 more time. Thumb, finger 3, finger 4. Now these are all TT, so it needs to go pretty fast. Thumb, 3, 4, like that. So practice that on your own until it sounds really good and really smooth. Now let's look at the 3rd measure. We're starting on that C with our 4th finger, and it goes 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 1. We skip way down to 1. 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 1. Let's do those 2 measures again, starting on C with our 4th finger. Ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti, ta. Now with our finger numbers. 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. Good. Now let's look at our left hand. It's still up in this C position in the treble clef. We start with our finger 1 on that G. And we play it again. And notice we don't step down, but we skip down to E flat. And then down to D. And we should land on finger 4. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now if you're feeling ready to do both hands, let's go for it. So let's do it slow at first. We should be on G and G our thumb and our pinky. Ready, go. G, G, F, E, D. Here comes that transition. C, C, D, C, G, 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 G. Good. Now practice this on your own until it feels really comfortable. Pause the video and then press play when you're ready. Great. Now these next 4 bars are my favorite. They're actually pretty easy, but they sound a lot harder than they are. So we're still in the same position with our left hand. And we just finished 4th finger on D in the previous measure, so we're going to repeat that again at the beginning of measure 25. Now we don't have an E flat, see that natural? So we're going to play the next D, E natural, and then F sharp and G. Those 4 notes again. 4, 3, 2, 1. And these are all TTs, so it's going to go kind of fast. T, 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 T. Good. And you'll notice 2 measures later, it does the same thing again. So we're going to stay right there and get ready to play that again. But first, let's look at our right hand. We start on finger 2 on A, and we have a T, 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 all the way up to our 5th finger, and then back down to 4th finger, and then down on 3rd finger. Now notice the rhythm here. It's T, 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 ta, ta. If we start here on finger 2, we'll go all the way up to the pinky. T, 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 ta, ta. Let's try that again. Ready, go. T, 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 ta, ta. Now it's really cool when we put the hands together. So we do left hand first, and then right hand. Starting on that finger 4 on D, ready? Let's go. T, 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 ta, ta. Good. Let's do that one more time. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. Notice the pattern here, that we go all the way up from D to D on 8th notes. And then when we come back down, it's on quarter notes. T, 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 ta, ta. And we only go down 2 notes before we start it again. The next 2 measures are exactly the same. T, 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 ta, ta. Now pause the video and practice this section again, repeating it several times until it sounds great and it feels easy. Then press play to continue. Great, now we're on measure 29. Now look at that right hand, we should recognize that same pattern from before. B flat, A, B flat, G. Ta, T, T, ta. Good, and that's the same B flat we just ended from measure 28 when we finished that line. So we'll end up playing that B flat twice, at the end of measure 28 and then again at the beginning of measure 29. And we'll repeat that for the next 8 measures. So let's look at the left hand. We're still in the same C minor position, so that F should be with our finger 2. So let's play that F, and then down on finger 3, and then we do another switch under with our thumb, and then 2 finger and C, because we have to get all the way down to that G back in the bass clef. That's the beginning of measure 33. So measure 29 again. We go F on 2 finger, we go all the way down, but crossing under with our thumb on D, 2 on C, and G. So let's practice this with our ta, T, T, ta. Ready, go. Ta, T, T, ta, ta, T, T, ta, ta, T, T, ta, ta, T, T, ta, and then on the G. Great, let's put the 2 hands together. This is our old pattern again. Starting on a 2 finger on F, and starting a 3rd finger on B flat. Ready, go. Thumb under, 2 finger on C, and then G. Great. Now look at measure 33, and look at that left hand. That G is tied over again to the next measure, and then again to the next 2 more measures. you're just going to hold that G the whole time. 2, 3, 4 whole measures. So that should be pretty easy. Now look at measure 33. It says dim e ral. Now that means diminuendo and rallentando. Diminuendo means to gradually get softer, and rallentando means to gradually get slower. But it says second time only. So this first time we're playing it, we're just going to keep on going. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, without slowing down or getting softer. Let's try that with the slow down and getting softer. Ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Good. Now look at the last measure of that phrase. The last note of the right hand and that last note of the left hand have a fermata over them. And that means you're going to hold that note extra. You can basically just stop counting and just hold that note and listen to it. And then lift when you're ready. It's a really dramatic pause. Now look at the end of that phrase, at that repeat sign. And maybe you notice something similar back there at measure 5. Now these are repeat signs. They mean that you'll go back to where that original sign was and start it all over again. So these measures from 5 to 36, you'll actually play twice. Now for this version of the song, this is totally optional. I like to take the repeat because it makes the song longer and it's a fun piece to play. Now let's say we're going to repeat. So we're going to do this, again, 5 finger on G we just got there, and our same pattern from before. And we're going to do that 4 times. But notice where we go back to in measure 5, that same G is going to get played, but that's supposed to be our thumb that plays it. And right now we have our pinky on it. So for those 4 measures, what you can do is think about how you're going to get that thumb to replace the pinky. Like this. Ta, ti, ti, ta. And you can just replace it just like that. So count 4 times, and then we're going to, on the 5th time, play it again, but with our thumb. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and thumb. Good, and we're back at measure 5. Now let's look at the coda. These are the last 4 measures of the piece, so we're almost done. Now look at that first measure. There's nothing there, huh? Just rests. Now I love resting here because it's a really dramatic pause. We know the song's not over yet, so we're just waiting in silence. And when it comes in, finally in measure 38, it's forte. And there's also a fermata, so you can stop counting and just hold that beautiful chord. And you can hold the pedal down and make it reverberate really nicely. And that's going to be with finger 3 and finger 5 on B flat and D. So try that really good, forte. Good. And the next measure, we go down to A and C with finger 2 and 4. And that's really easy because if we're playing B flat and D with finger 5 and 3, your 2 and 4 fingers are already there. So let's do that again, those 2 measures. Forte, and then fall down, and then back up, right where you came from. Good, and these measures should be really slow and not try to count them too vigorously so that it's really dramatic. Good. Now this last measure is interesting. Basically, you can play any G you want, but these are the Gs I like to play. A really low G all the way down here in the left hand, and a really high G way up here in the right hand. I think that sounds really good. So this whole coda from that second measure in sounds like this, with the pedal down. Good. Now if you don't have a pedal, or can't reach it, that's alright. It doesn't need the pedal, it's just for extra. It still sounds great without the pedal. Thanks for learning Carol of the Bells with me. Now we want to see your performance of Carol of the Bells. Be sure to post a video on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll see you next time. Happy practicing.
Ding dong 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 dong ding dong ding dong ding dong dong ding dong ding dong dong ding dong ding dong dong ding dong ding dong